Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have completed physical geography of NCERT and now we are going to cover the Indian geography section. Now let me give an overview first what we will be covering in this video. First one is the size and location of India. Second thing that we need to cover is physiographic divisions. Third is drainage system of India. Drainage system and river system of India. Fourth one is vegetation, forest types in India. Fifth one is climate with major focus on monsoon system. Sixth one is soils and their distribution in India. So now in this first part we will be covering these first two topics, that is physiographic division and size and location of India. Now starting with where India is located. It is located in northern hemisphere in Asian continent. And where in Asian continent? It is located in south central part. And exact location is known by the latitudinal and longitudinal extent of the country. Now what is it for India? Longitudinal extent and latitudinal extent of the country. It is 68 degrees 7 minute north to 97 degree 25 minute east. Sorry, it is east. And for latitudinal extent it is 8 degree 4 minute north to 37 degrees 6 minute north. Now roughly both latitudinal and longitudinal extent is around 30 degrees. But when the actual distance is measured from north to south, it is around 3214 kilometers. And from west to east, it is 2933 kilometers. Why this is less? Because the distance between the latitudes remains the same, that is around 111 kilometers. And the distance between the two longitudes decreases as we move from equator towards the pole. That is, at equator, the difference between the distance between two longitude is around the same 111 kilometer, and at around 55 degree north it is around half of it, that is around 56 kilometers. So due to this difference in this difference in the distance is noticed. Now what about the size? So India covers about 3.28 million square kilometer area, which is around 2.4% of the world's total land area. Now let us look at the largest countries by area. First one is Russia, Canada, China, US, Brazil, Australia, and then comes the India at 7th number. After India, it is Argentina, Kazakhstan, and Algeria. Now let us look at the extent of India. It extends from Kashmir to Kanyakumari in north-south direction and in east to west direction it extends from Jaisalmer in Rajasthan to Imphal in Manipur. Now the area that is bound by Himalayas in the north and Hindu Kush and Suleiman ranges in northwest, and this northeastern Himalayas in the eastern part, and Indian Ocean in southern part. This whole region combined together is known as Indian subcontinent. Now it contains the countries other than India also. They are Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and India. Now look at the political map of India. India contains 28 states and 8 UTs. Now in the recent exam of UPSC Prelims 2026, there is a question on this political map of India, which is asking that Uttar Pradesh is the state which shares its boundary with maximum number of other Indian states. Now tell me in the comment section with how many states the UP shares its border. And second statement is that Sikkim is the only state that shares its border with only one other Indian state. Now this statement is wrong. Why? Because there are two such states in India which shares its border with only one other Indian state. Now tell me in the comment section the name of that other state. Now let us look at the neighbors of India. So India shares a land border of around 15,000 kilometers with 7 neighboring countries. They are Bangladesh, China, Pakistan, Nepal, Myanmar, Bhutan, and Afghanistan. So India shares its maximum land border with Bangladesh, that is around 4,096 kilometers. Thereafter comes the China, Pakistan, Nepal, Myanmar, Bhutan, and Afghanistan. India shares only a border of 106 kilometers with Afghanistan. Now let us look at the coastline of India. So previously the Indian coastline was around 7,517 kilometers, out of which 6,100 kilometer is of mainland India and others are is continent, these island coastlines. Now this has been recently revised by Indian government to 11,098 kilometers. It spans across 9 Indian states and 2 UTs. And why there is huge increase in this coastline? Because of the method of measurements. Earlier it is measured in straight lines. Now these backwaters and inland intrusion of waters such as these are also being measured by the government, due to which the coastline has been increased. Now out of these 9 states, Gujarat has the maximum coastline. Thereafter comes the Andaman Nicobar, then Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. Now this Tropic of Cancer is also passing through India, that is 22.5 degree north. Through how many states this is passing? That is Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura, and Mizoram. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It is passing through 8 states. Now, UPSC has been asking the questions on this political map and the neighbors of the India. So, give 5 to 10 minutes and spend this time on the map and observe it carefully to answer these questions. Now, let us move to the next chapter, that is the Division of India, structure and based on structure and physiography. So geologically, India can be divided into three parts. That is peninsular block, second one is Himalayas and other peninsular mountains, and third one is Indo Ganga and Brahmaputra plains. Now this geological division is based on majorly the geology of the area, that is type of rock structure and the age in which it is formed. This is slightly different from the physiographic division, which is majorly based on the topography and the landforms of that region, but it majorly overlaps with the physiographic division. Now let us look at the first one, that is peninsular block. So this peninsular block extends from Kutch in Gujarat to Aravallis. It forms the western boundary, and then it runs parallel to the Yamuna up to the Rajmahal Hills, and also the Karbi Anglong Plateau of Meghalaya and this Malda Gap. This also forms the part of this peninsular block. This is the peninsular block of India. Now it is geologically strong and rigid rocks, which is ancient gneiss and granite. And it basically features the hard rocks, hard and residual old rocks like Aravali, Nallamala Hills, Javadi Hills, Valikonda Hills, and it is basically formed due to the faulting rocks. Now comes the Himalayas. They are new, young, and weak sedimentary rocks basically, as compared to the peninsular blocks. The- They are basically their origin owes to the tectonic movements along with the exogenetic factors like rivers forms a major part of its landscape, and the features like gorges, V-shaped valleys, rapids, waterfall are present there. Then comes the third one, that is Indo-Gangetic plains, Indo, Ganga and Brahmaputra plains. Now this its origin is derived from the geosynclinal depression. That is, this region of plains was earlier in the form of like this syncline, which is filled up by the sediments carried by the Himalayan rivers, and now it is in its present form of plain areas. Now let us look at the physiographic division. Now, on the basis of physiography, the India can be divided into six parts. That is, first one is Himalayas and northeastern mountains. Second one is northern plains, that is Great Indian Plains. Third is Peninsular Plateau, Peninsular Plateau. Fourth is Indian Desert. Fifth is coastal plains. And sixth one is islands. Now starting with the Himalayas. So there can be two broad divisions of Himalayas. First one being longitudinal. That is division of Himalayas from north to south arrangement. So in north to south direction they are arranged in parallel. They are in form of parallel ranges like this. This is Greater Himalayas. This is Middle Himalayas. This is Lesser Himalayas or Shivaliks. Sorry, this is not Lesser Himalayas. This is Outer Himalayas. Middle Himalayas is also known as Lesser Himalayas. Now beyond this Greater Himalayas, it is known as Trans Himalayas. It includes the ranges of Tibet and higher ranges of Ladakh like Karakoram, Ladakh and Jaskar. In this Great Himalaya, it includes the northernmost range, which has highest average elevation of around more than 6,000 meters, and world's highest peak, that is Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, and major snow glaciers are part of this range only. Now comes the Middle Himalayas or Lesser Himalayas. So their average elevation is lesser than the Greater Himalayas. It is somewhere around 4,500 kilometers, and ob- um, it contains major hill stations or tourist destination like Kashmir, Kullu, Manali, Shimla, Masuri. And now comes the Shivalik range, which is the southernmost and youngest range of Himalayas, and its average elevation is around 1200 meters, which is primarily formed of unconsolidated river sediments, and it is characterized by the longitudinal valleys like dunes, which are known as zones. Now moving on to the latitudinal division, which is from west to east. It is majorly demarcated by the river boundaries. So first one is Kashmir or Punjab Himalayas. It is between the Indus and Salaj River. Second one is Kumaon Himalayas और उत्तराखंड या फिर Himachal Himalayas. They are between the Satluj and Kali rivers. Now comes the Nepal Himalayas between Kali and Tista river. Thereafter comes the Assam Himalayas between Tista and Bihar. Thereafter, Eastern hills are also there. Now starting with Kashmir Himalayas. It contains series of ranges such as Karakoram, Ladakh, Jaskar, and Pir Panjal. And they are in the sequence of their arrangement in north to south direction, that is Karakoram, Ladakh, Jaskar, Pir Panjal. You can also look at on the map. This is Karakoram, Ladakh, Jaskar, and Pir Panjal is here. Now the northeastern part of this Kashmir Himalayas is demarcated with the cold deserts, and these cold deserts are located between the Greater Himalayas and Karakoram range. It is famous for the Valley of Kashmir, Dal Lake, and various glaciers like Baltoro, Siachen, And Kashmir Himalayas are also famous for the Kareva Formation, which is the thick deposit of glacial clay, and it is very important for the cultivation of saffron, that is a local variety of saffron. And it also features various mountain passes like Jojila, Banihal, Fotula, Khardungla, and also one important feature is lakes that are present there, such as Dull Lake and Wuller Lake are some freshwater lakes, and Pangong So and So Miriri are the saltwater lakes that are present in this region. Also, it is drained by the Indus and its tributaries. It also witnesses famous pilgrimage, pilgrimage such as Vaishno Devi, Amarnath Caves, Chiraga Sharif, and etc. Now, this is all about the Kashmir Himalayas. Now comes the Himachal or Kumaon Himalayas or Uttarakhand Himalayas. They are between the Satluj and Kali River, drained by two important rivers, that is Indus and Ganga. And all the three ranges of Himalayas, that is Greater Himalaya, Lesser Himalaya, and Shivaliks, are prominently visible in this region. Various tourist sites such as Dharamshala, Masuri, Shimla, Kasol, Lansdowne, Ranikhet are present there, and it is majorly known for its dune formations, which are the longitudinal valleys. Examples of them are Chandigarh Kalka Dune, Chandigarh Kalka Dune, Nalagarh Dune, Dehradun, which is the largest dune, and Kota Dune, etc. And also, this region is inhabited by tribes like Bhutias, which are nomadic groups, and Bugyals, that is, it is a summer grassland. Summer grasslands in which these tribes migrate in the time of winters. And this Himalayas, they are also home to Valley of Flowers, national parks. A number of national parks is also present there, and the pilgrimage sites such as Gangotri, Yamunotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath, Hemkund Sahib are also present here, and it is also famous for its Panch Priyags. We will cover these Panch Priyags in the drainage section. Till now, if you know these, then comment in the comment section. Now moving on to the Darjeeling or Sikkim Himalayas. And the Sikkim Himalayas is bordered by Nepal Himalayas to the west, and it is famous for its high flowing rivers such as Tista, and there are highest peaks present there like Kanchenjunga and deep valleys, and it is also there is also a tribe which is residing there known as Lepcha tribe. Now the Sikkim Himalayas, their Shivalik formation is not that prominent. Okay, Shivaliks are absent there. Instead of this, there are Duar formations, which are important for the tea gardens. It provides the ground for these orchids and a number of tea gardens and this floriculture and horticulture. Then comes the Arunachal Himalayas, which witnesses high lofty mountains, snow-covered peaks, and various rivers flowing with high intensity that provides the highest hydroelectric power potential in the country. These rivers are Dihang, Dibang, Subhansri, Brahmaputra, and a number of prominent tribes also reside there, such as Monpa, Abor, Mishmi, Miri, Nagas, and there are also mountain peaks named on these tribes. Next one is Eastern Hills and Mount Eastern Hills. These are the Eastern Hills. Now they are known by different names like Patkaibam, Naga Hills, Manipur Hills, Mizo or Lushai Hills. These are also an extension of Himalayas. After the Himalayas take a syntaxial bend from the Namcha Barwa. These eastern hills are present there, whose general alignment are in direction of north to south. Here the Jhum cultivation is followed, and Barak is the most important river flowing through this region. There are also presence of large lake like Loktak Lake. And then there is Molasses Basin, which is the name for Mizoram. Why? Because it is made up of unconsolidated deposits. Now comes the next physiographic region, that is Northern Plains. It covers the region of this Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, UP, Bihar, West Bengal, all this. And it covers the plains of Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. Now these are the plains made from the alluvial deposits. Their length extends to 3,200 kilometers in west to east direction, and their thickness generally extends to 150 to 300, sorry, 1000 to 3000 meters. Now from north to south, these plains are divided into regions like Bhabbar, Tarai, and alluvial plains, which are further divided into Bangad and Khadar. So Bhabbar is the narrow belt that is running parallel to the foothills of Shivaliks. It basically contains the high mountainous deposits, heavy rocks, boulders, and rivers generally disappear in this stage. That is, it starts flowing below these structures, and south of Babbar lies the Tarai region, which is approximately 10 to 20 kilometers wide, where the some streams or rivers re-emerges, and these rivers created marshy and swampy conditions. Here, rich forests are grown. Now next comes the alluvial plains. This Bhangar is the old alluvium and Khadar is new alluvium. This lies in the floodplain of a river. It renews every year, and this is the older alluvium that is deposited earlier. Now, this alluvial plains, they contains a series of landforms, that is erosional and depositional, like sandbars, meander, oxbow lakes, and braided channels are also feature of these alluvial plains. They are also the feeding grounds of the country. That is, majorly the food grains, that is wheat and rice, are produced in these regions. Now comes the next physiographic division, which is Peninsular Plateau. Now this is a triangular plateau like this. There's Kutch and Aravali range in the western part, running parallel to the Indus and Ganga and Yamuna river up to the Rajmahal hills. Thereafter, there comes the Malda Gap, and this Meghalayan plateau is also an extension of this peninsular plateau. It is also bounded by this Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. And this triangular part is majorly the peninsular part of India. Now its general elevation is around 150 meter. Now some important features of this region are block mountains, rift valleys, bare rocky structure, hard rocks, and presence of black soil. Now it is further divided into various parts like Deccan Plateau, which is the region that is bordered by Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats in the east and west, and in the north it is bordered by Satpura, Maikal, and Mahadev Hills. You can see this in in this region. This is Deccan Plateau. Now another one is Central Highlands. It is bounded by Aravallis in the west, Aravali in the west, and Satpura in the south. Satpura and Vindhyas in south. This is region of Central Highlands. Next one is Northeastern Plateau, which is this Karbi Anglong and Meghalaya Plateau. This is Chotanagpur Plateau. And these plateau, it is also famous for its presence of minerals such as marble, slate, gneiss, coal, and various other minerals are present there. Now comes the next physiographic region, which is Indian desert, also known as Marusthali, Thar Desert. Receives the rainfall less than 150 mm per year, and it is conspicuous with these aeolian features like barchans, longitudinal dunes, mushroom rocks, dugans, yardunks. It also has some salt lakes, home to some ephemeral rivers like Luni. Next is coastal plains. The coastal plain can be divided into two types, that is western coastal plain and eastern coastal plain. This is submergent type of coastal plain. This is emergent type of coastal plain. Here the continental shelf is broader, and here the continental shelf is narrower. Here the deltas are formed. Here estuaries are formed. It provides the natural condition for formation of ports. Ports formation, and here not suitable for the ports because of large sediments deposited by the rivers. A number of rivers drains here, and the river that drains into this western coast, they are short and ephemeral, and these coastal plains are known by different names. Like this is Gujarat coast, it is known as Kathiawar coast, and this Maharashtra and Karnataka coast, it is known as Konkan, and Kerala coast, it is known as Malabar coast, and the coast of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, it is known as Coromandel coast, and this part of Odisha, it is known as Northern Circars. This Kerala coast is famous for its kayals, that is backwaters, which are useful for fishing, inland navigation, and also the tourist attraction. Here also the famous Nehru Trophy race is organized. Now comes the last part of the physiographic division, that is islands. It has two major island groups. One is in Bay of Bengal and other is in Arabian Sea. It is Andaman and Nicobar groups. Nicobar in Bay of Bengal and Lakshadweep in Arabian Sea. This Andaman and Nicobar. This is Andaman and this is Nicobar. They are separated by 10-degree channel. These are basically the submarine mountains, or sometimes even said that extension of Arakan Yuma mountains of Myanmar. Some are volcanic in origin, that is only active volcano of India, that is Barren Island, is also present there on the Nicobar Island. Now it is Andaman Island is also divided into various parts, that is North Andaman, Middle Andaman, South Andaman. Now there are some, remember some highest peak of these regions, that is Saddle Peak is the Saddle Peak is highest point of this Andaman and Nicobar Island as a whole, and it is present in the North Andaman. And in the Middle Andaman, highest peak is Mount Diavolo, and in South Andaman it is Mount Koyob, and in the Great Nicobar the highest point is Mount Thulier. It also has coral deposits and beaches. It receives the conventional rainfall and have the equatorial type of vegetation. Now let us move on to the Arabian Sea. It includes the Lakshadweep Island group. It contains basically 36 islands, of which 11 are inhabited. And out of this, Minicoy is the largest island in the Lakshadweep group. And by 10-degree channel, these groups are divided into two. That is, north of it is Amini Islands, and south of it is Cannanore Islands. Now, this is all about the today's class. If you like the video, hit the like button and share the video to your friends and subscribe the channel. And if you have any suggestions, mention the same in the comment section. Thank you for watching.